Welcome to Chapter 1, Seeds of Eternity. Imagine a journey where time stretches endlessly, wrapping around centuries as easily as the morning mist clings to the arms of earth. In the heart of the ancient forest, where the gentle whispers of nature lull the chaos of the outside world, our story begins with a modest yet profound miracle: the life of a redwood seed. This tiny vessel, no larger than a grain of sand, harbors the blueprint of what could one day be a colossus among trees, towering majestically into the skies. Envision this seed, cradled by the fertile forest floor, surrounded by a tapestry of lush ferns and dappled sunlight that dances through the lofty canopy. As the seasons wheel overhead, from the crisp coolness of autumn ushering down layers of nurturing leaf litter to the soft embraces of winter snow, the seed nestles patiently, biding its time in silent anticipation. With the arrival of spring, laced with the fresh scent of renewal, our redwood seed awakens. A tiny sprout emerges, thrusting towards the sun's nurturing warmth, embarking on a centuries-long quest towards the heavens. Over decades, this sprout transforms. Root and branch delve and reach, learning the languages of the wind and the soil. Wired into the very fabric of its surroundings, the tree becomes a bustling metropolis for myriad creatures. From the cautious steps of deer dimpling the forest floor to the vibrant chatter of squirrels in lofty boughs, each organism contributes to and thrives in this shared space of existence. Journey onward through the arcs of time, and you'll see our redwood not just growing but also giving. Its fallen leaves enrich the soil, its opened canopy allows new life to flourish beneath. Eventually, even as the tree meets its own end, it lays down once more into the bosom of the earth it once sprang from. But even in fall, the tree sows the seeds of eternity, offering itself up as a sanctuary and sustenance, cradling new lives in the intricate crib of its decaying form, thus closing the eternal loop of birth, death, and rebirth. Let this hypnotic voyage through ages inspire a tranquility as everlasting as the redwood itself. In the deep, serene embrace of the forest, where the muted light barely touches the rich, loamy soil, begins a journey, one not just of growth, but of epochs and legends. Here in Chapter 2, titled First Sprout, A Tiny Miracle, our story unfolds microscopically at first with a single resilient redwood seed. Imagine, if you will, this minuscule seed, hardly larger than a grain of sand, now embarking on a century-spanning voyage. The air is damp and filled with the sweet, heavy scent of decay and rebirth, a cradle for new beginnings. As sunlight filters down through the dense canopy, a dance of photons reaches this tiny seed, warming the earth around it, coaxing it to awaken. With patience that only nature can afford, the seed's shell softens with the moisture of the soil, and a tender green sprout reaches towards the light. This sprout, delicate yet determined, pushes through the ground, a ground littered with giants who have witnessed the passing of countless moons. The forest around falls silent in reverence of this tiny miracle, this act of defiance against the dark, embracing earth. Slowly, roots delve into the depths, sipping on the esoteric lore contained within each grain of soil, anchoring the foundation of what could one day be a titanic guardian of the forest. Above, the sprout unfurls its first leaves, tasting the air for the first time, basking in the dappled sunlight that breaks through the ancient canopy. With every drop of rain, with every whisper of the wind, the sprout strengthens, steadies, and stretches upward, reaching for the empyrean heights dominated by its elders. Indeed, each moment is a quiet testament to resilience, a soft murmur of life asserting itself, a single beat in the heart of the forest symphony. Let us pause here in the stillness and watch in wonder as this nascent life claims its place in the sun-dappled echelons of the woods. Let the image of this first triumphant sprout embolden our hearts as we continue to journey with it through whispering centuries towards the sky. Chapter 3: Centuries of Growth Reaching the Sky. In the deep embrace of the ancient forest, where dappled sunlight whispers secrets to the undergrowth, our redwood tree enters a remarkable era of its existence. Centuries have woven their passage into the tapestry of its bark, seasoned and thickened through the span of time. Let your mind wander upward, following the ever-ascending boughs as they stretch toward the sky, eager to brush the soft undersides of passing clouds. Envision the slow, hypnotic dance of growth, each year marked by a new ring hidden within its core, a secret history of the world written in wood. Surrounding the redwood, the forest ages too. It is a living community where each member, from the smallest fern to the prowling foxes, plays a vital role in nurturing the ecosystem. The gentle rustle of leaves and the sporadic calls of distant birds create a symphony of natural sounds, soothing and steady. As the seasons paint the scenery in hues of emerald greens and fiery oranges, our redwood stands tall, a silent sentinel that has observed centuries unfold. Its mighty trunk, a pillar of strength, supports a labyrinth of branches that provide shelter and sustenance to myriad creatures. Squirrels dart through the foliage, while owls find solace in the crooks of its arms during the moonlit hours. With each passing century, the redwood reaches higher, its apex piercing more deeply into the heavens, as if in slow pursuit of the infinite. The air around it shimmers with the mist of morning, and time ever so gently sculpts its form into something nearing the divine. And so our redwood lives, not merely surviving, but reigning over its domain with a quiet majesty that speaks of centuries lived and the promise of many more. In this chapter of its epic story, we are mere observers, drawn into the serene grandeur of a life measured not in years, but in the legacy it fosters, shadowing the earth and sky. Chapter 4: Fire and Renewal, Survival of the Fittest. In the heart of the ancient forest, where the sun barely kisses the soil, the venerable redwood stands as a silent sentinel. Its bark, weathered and charred from centuries of battles with the elements, tells a story of resilience and rebirth. As we delve deeper into this chapter, the forest's breath becomes audible, rhythmic and slow, like the beat of nature's own heart. Imagine a spark in the night, a small flicker that grows into a consuming flame. The fire sweeps through the undergrowth, crackling and roaring with primal energy. Yet this is not a tale of destruction, but a necessary evolution, a cleansing. The redwood, with its thick, fire-resistant bark, stands tall amidst the inferno, a testament to its enduring strength. As the flames die down, the forest floor is left dark and bare, a blank canvas. From the ashes, a miracle of rebirth commences. Tiny seedlings, once sheltered by their giant ancestor, now find their place in the sun, sprouting with vigor in the nutrient-rich ash. Here the fittest survive. The cycle of life continues. As we witness new life springing forth, the redwood, both in life and in death, remains a nurturing force. Creatures small and large begin to return to their renewed home, each playing a role in this intricate tapestry of survival. The chapter closes with a slow, sweeping view of the rejuvenated forest, a symphony of greens under the golden sky. The redwood still towers, serene and majestic. Rest now in the knowledge that in this eternal cycle of fire and renewal, life flourishes, ever resilient, ever magnificent. Chapter 5. A Canopy Home, Creatures in the Mist. As we ascend through the verdant layers of the Redwood forest, our journey brings us closer to the sky, where the dense fog weaves between the majestic towers of nature. Within this lofty realm, suspended high above the forest floor, an array of life thrives in the embrace of the ancient redwoods. Here in the soft cradle of the canopy, ferns and lichens cling gracefully to the bark, forming hanging gardens that sway subtly with the breeze. These gardens are not only a spectacle of tranquil beauty, but also a vital sanctuary for the creatures that frolic in the mists. Squirrels, with their bushy tails flickering, dart from branch to branch, their movements quick and precise. Birds of all hues, from the vivid blue of the Steller's jay to the subtle brown of the Pacific wren, fill the air with their melodic calls, creating a symphony that resonates through the thick mist. Beneath this coral canopy, nestled in the crooks of massive branches, owls find solace, their eyes reflecting the dappled light that manages to penetrate this high haven. As night descends, the forest transforms and the mist seems to thicken, shrouding the redwood giants in mystery. The nighttime is alive with the whispers of nocturnal creatures. Raccoons with their masked faces explore the tree bark, and bats flutter silently, their wings slicing through the heavy air. Each animal, each plant in this elevated world contributes to the life cycle of the redwood, part of a larger tale that stretches across centuries. As the moon casts its silvery glow, the forest below sleeps, unaware of the vibrant life continuing above, where the redwood's branches cradle a world unto itself. This canopy home, shrouded in mist, stands as a witness to the cycles of life, nurturing the creatures that depend on its enduring strength. Here, the heart of the forest beats strongly, whispering ancient secrets to those who dare to listen. Welcome to Chapter 6, The Wisdom of Rings, Stories in Layers. In the hushed whispers of the forest, where sunlight filters through a high canopy, our journey begins with a minuscule yet robust redwood seed. Nestled in the fertile earth, it waits, patient and poised for the moment of awakening. As the seasons unfurl, so too does the seed, tenderly stretching upwards, a tiny sprout reaching for the caress of light above. As years stretch into decades, and decades into centuries, this sprout transforms inch by inch into a mighty redwood. Its trunk thickens, enshrined in bark that tells tales older than cities, older than certain civilizations. With each ring that forms beneath the surface, a new chapter of life is etched into its mass, capturing stories of rainy years, dry spells, fires, and rebirths. Surrounding the redwood, the forest flourishes. Creatures large and small, owls, squirrels, and elusive foxes, make homes within and around its rising form. Birds weave nests in its high branches, while ferns and fungi flourish in the moisture of its shade. The tree stands, stoic and grand, a pillar of the ecosystem, watching seasons pass and centuries unfold. Eventually, even the mightiest redwood reaches the end of its sway. In an echoing crash that sends tremors through the forest floor, it succumbs to time, bowing to the earth it once sprouted from. Yet, even in this fall lies a nascent beginning. The fallen giant nurtures countless lives. Insects, plants, and seedlings thrive on the decomposing trunk, enriched by its legacy. The forest absorbs the elder, embodying its nutrients, spirit, and wisdom. Each fallen tree sows seeds of the future, ensuring that the forest never forgets, ever grows and evolves. As our tale closes, one is left to ponder. reflect on rings not merely as markers of age, but as reservoirs of stories, wisdom passed from one generation to the transformative next. Each layered story, a profound reminder of resilience, interconnectedness, and the everlasting cycle of life. Chapter 7: Whispers of the Ancients, Legends in Leaves. In the tranquil heart of the forest, where the air is thick with the perfume of moss and ancient bark, our journey with the venerable Redwood enters a mystical realm. Here, each leaf whispers tales of yore, echoing through the lush green canopy. As we listen, the soft rustle blends with the gentle hum of the forest, transporting us to a place where time dilates and ancient spirits seem to stir. Imagine, if you will, the slow, deliberate growth of our redwood hero, each ring a testament to the passage of centuries. These trees, towering sentinels of the forest, house complex ecosystems within their colossal frames. Squirrels dart playfully along the rugged bark, while owls surveil the woodland realm from gnarled branches. As our tree reaches skyward, the stories accrued over innumerable seasons are etched into its very essence. The whispered legends speak of resilience and patience, virtues embodied by the redwood's enduring presence. As night deepens, a layer of mist descends, shrouding the forest in mystery. The moon's silver light filters through the leaves, casting a luminous glow that seems otherworldly. In this ethereal light, the life cycle of our mighty redwood nears its poignant culmination. Eventually, even the mightiest of redwoods must yield to time. With a graceful surrender that belies its immense size, the tree descends to the forest floor, a monumental event that shakes the very soil with its impact. Yet in this apparent end lies a new beginning. From the fallen giant, a nursery arises. Moss, ferns, and saplings find refuge in its decaying wood, drawing life from its rich nutrients. As our story closes, reflect upon the legacy of the redwood. Though it stands no more, its spirit nourishes a new generation, perpetuating the cycle of life in the lush forest. Amidst the whispers of the leaves, feel the eternal connection between past and future, and carry forward the legends held within these ancient sentinels. In the ancient grove, where time seems to pause and the air is thick with whispers of the past, Chapter 8 unfolds. Giants among men, encounters with humanity. Here, in the heart of the forest, our redwood tree, now a majestic giant, brushes the heavens with its soaring crown. For centuries it has stood here, a solitary sentinel, but not untouched by the presence of humans. We trace delicate footsteps that have come and gone, the respectful pilgrimages of those who sought the solace only this cathedral of nature could provide. Gentle touches upon its massive trunk have left spiritual imprints, blending human essence with arboreal might. We speak softly of the craftsmen, the reverent souls who ages ago found fallen limbs gifts from the giants. From these they carved tokens and tools, objects of beauty and utility, always with a whispered gratitude for the wood that fire never touched. There were others too, the curious children with eyes wide in wonder, who listened to tales spun by elders, the tree's ancient lore becoming part of their own. And we must not forget the artists who, struck by the overwhelming presence of the redwood, committed its form to canvas, its essence to poetry, transforming awe into a shared relic of humanity. As the chapter closes, we reflect on these encounters. Each touch, each gaze upon the redwood has been a silent exchange, a moment of communion between mankind and the monument of nature. The giant, in its unyielding quietude, has observed eras come and go, holding within its rings the storied history of the forest and its fleeting visitors. It stands, even now, a testament to resilience and serenity, a beacon for those who will walk beneath its boughs in centuries yet to come. And so, nestled in the cradle of earth, under the watchful guard of the night sky, the story of our redwood, intertwined with humanity, lulls us deeper into the dreamland of the forest's timeless embrace. Chapter 9. The Silent Observer. Epochs pass by. In the heart of the primordial forest, where the mists envelop the undergrowth and the first rays of the sun gently touch the canopy, stands a mighty redwood tree. This ancient sentinel, born from a humble seed, has withstood the passage of time for centuries. As we delve deeper into its story, we observe epochs passing by from the perspective of this silent observer. Around it, the dance of nature unfolds seamlessly. Generations of woodland creatures have thrived under its protective branches. Foxes have played in its mighty roots, and hawks have nested high among its branches, their keen eyes scanning the landscape that stretches endlessly below. With each passing century, the redwood has grown not just in size but in wisdom, its bark thickening, scarred and rough with memories. It has witnessed the subtle shifts of the earth, the changing climate, and the evolution of the forest's inhabitants. Yet throughout, it has remained a stoic and enduring presence. As the seasons change, the redwood's foliage glistens with the dew of dawn and shimmers in the hush of dusk. In its company, night descends on the forest. The moonlight casts a silver glow, illuminating the intricate patterns of its bark, telling tales of old forest lore to those who understand the language of the woods. The oscillations of time seem inconsequential from the viewpoint of this towering giant. Now and then, a branch may fall, surrendering to the gravitational pull, and with it, a piece of history returns to the earth. Here in the forest's quiet, the redwood begins its final chapter. It silently prepares to end its epoch-spanning life, ready to slowly, gracefully return its nutrients to the soil from which it once sprung. This cycle of life and death in the forest is perpetual, serene, and full of grace. And as the silent observer prepares to fall, it assures that from its remains new life will spring forth, continuing the everlasting cycle of the forest. Welcome to Chapter 10. Roots in the Future, the Legacy Continues. As the moon gently rises, casting a silvery glow through the dense canopy of the forest, a sense of eternal tranquility envelops the world of the redwoods. These ancient sentinels of the forest, through their life, deaths, and regeneration, symbolize a cycle of life that is both endless and profound. Here, beneath the starlit sky, the story reflects on the legacy of these magnificent trees. Imagine a fallen giant, its once towering form now cradled by the nurturing earth. This majestic redwood, through its centuries of life, has been more than just a tree. It has been a fortress of biodiversity, a bearer of history, safeguarding countless tales within its rings. As it lies in repose, the fallen redwood begins a different kind of journey. This giant, now horizontal, becomes a cradle for new life. Moss carpets its bark, ferns anchor in the crevices, and fungi thread through its wood in a delicate dance of decomposition. Small creatures scurry across its surface, finding food and shelter in its sprawling form. This tree, even in its death, is a source of life, echoing the infinite cycle of the forest. The narrative then expands, inviting you to peer into the future as tiny redwood seeds, nestled in the fertile soil enriched by their forebear, begin their ascent towards the stars. These seedlings, fed by the legacy of past giants, stretch upward, whispered forward by the winds of time. Slowly, imperceptibly, a new generation rises through the underbrush, aiming to touch the sky. Each young sapling carries in it the strength and wisdom of centuries, a living testament to resilience and regeneration. The story closes as the night deepens, leaving the listener with a profound sense of continuity and hope. The legacy of the redwoods, like the stars above, seems eternal, ancient yet forever renewed. In the quiet of the night, as sleep beckons, the legacy of these majestic trees continues, deeply rooted in the rich tapestry of the future.